cozy reading night. This is March 20th. It is just a few minutes after 8 o'clock. And I have been listening to Three Bags Full. When I started, I sat down with my plate of dinner and also a can of Mac and Jack's Hazy IPA beer, which was delicious. The dinner was a frozen dinner because that's what we're doing tonight. Anyway, so I am closing in on the finish of Three Bags Full, and any minute now, I think the murderer is going to be revealed. Already there's been some revelations that have been pretty fun, and I think I'm going to like how this is ending. I think it's going to have a really nice ending. Anyway, so I hope any of you that are also doing cozy reading night are having a great time yourselves and enjoying whatever you're reading. And I'll check in later after I've gone upstairs and see you then. Hello, I have settled in upstairs and let's see, I plan on doing a swatch and casting this summer top on later. I have chosen a free pattern called the Streamline Tank Top or Streamline Sleeveless. Anyway, I'll give more details when I have something to show for it in a regular episode, but I did that. Ready to, and I finished this dangly bookmark, which was done in crochet. It's got leaves, and for berries, I use the ends to attach some beads, some sparkly berries. And one leaf on this end, and a set of 3 leaves and 3 berries on that end. And I think I'm going to start reading The Good People by Hannah Kent. It's the book that I have decided on, the physical book, and I'm going to use my newly finished bookmark. I did this years ago, like maybe 3 years ago, and I just kind of keep forgetting about it, and until I dug it out of that bag, it might have never gotten finished. But now it is finished with the beads that I had always intended to put on it. And let me read you some of the beginning of The Good People. Looks like it starts with a couple of poems, a ballad and a poem. Before the story starts. Let me read you the W.B. Yeats quote. It's not a poem. It's from his The Celtic Twilight, Fairy and Folklore. Apparently Yeats wrote about some of the fairy folklore in a book Here's the quote. When all is said and done, how do we not know but that our unknown reason... Okay. I can't read aloud. Let's start again. When all is said and done, how do we not know but that our own unreason may be better than another's truth? For it has been warmed on our hearths and in our souls, and is ready for the wild bees of truth to hive in it and make their sweet honey. Come into the world again, wild bees, wild bees. And here is a map of Ireland. This is set in Ireland in the mid to late 19th century. And let's hear the first sentence of Anna Kent's words. Chapter 1, Colt's Foot, which I imagine is a plant. It could very possibly be like a herbal remedy kind of a plant. Anyway, here we go. The first sentence. Nora's first thought when they brought her the body was that it could not be her husband's. For one long moment she stared at the men bearing Martin's weight on their sweating shoulders, standing in the gasping cold, and believed that the body was nothing but a cruel imitation, a changeling, brutal in its likeness. That's the first sentence of this book, and I'm going to keep reading and have a little bit of ice cream. I started this last night. I had about a half. I'm going to finish it tonight. It is 10:24 p.m. and I have started the swatch for my streamlined tank top, and I ended the reading part by listening to the first, I think, chapter and a half of Kate Morton's The Clockmaker's Daughter, which I'm really enjoying. I really like the narrator, and I love I think I'm gonna love this story. It's got a dual timeline, so I think there's gonna be, maybe some fantastical magical time travel, or maybe just dual timeline narratives where she's investigating the past. But I think it's going to be great. The past timeline is going to be in Victorian times in England. I think they're in London. I'm pretty sure they're in London. And Victorian London is the past timeline, and the current is current day. And I think I'm gonna really like that one. And The Good People by Hannah Kent started off with like a punch in the gut. I think that's going to be kind of a heartbreaking story. Yeah, I think the themes are going to be very like grief and loss, and but it's very atmospheric, and it's got connections to like fairy folklore, and I think maybe a little bit of so there's going to be some fairy tale and fairy folklore connections, and and I might not be able to read it in huge chunks at a time, because it's like it kind of breaks my heart a little bit, at least in the beginning. Maybe it'll lighten up a little later, but so I think a very successful cozy reading night. I really enjoyed it. And I didn't tell you about my ice cream. I had Ben and Jerry's. It was salted caramel with sweet cream and little chunks of Blondie, which is like a brownie, but it's not chocolate. So little Blondie chunks and salted caramel and sweet cream ice cream. It's my favorite right now. I really like it. Anyway, so I hope that if you made your own cozy reading night, I hope you had a wonderful time.